Morning, everyone. Dr. Vaughn. I'm going to go through this very first activity, 13.1. This is in Anova, single factor Anova. And I'm going to show you a slightly different method than the one that's demonstrated for you in the video tutorial. I kind of have the video tutorial pulled up over here. And what they do is they go through in a very structured way and have you do all of this very manually. And it's worthwhile going through and trying it this way. You'll get all the commands over here. You follow almost command for command exactly what they tell you to do in the video, and you'll be just fine. But I'm going to show you how to use the Anova tool that's built into the data analysis tool pack to get the same results. All right, so let's go to the spreadsheet first. And I'm going to open this up in the online version of Excel. And then I'm going to, like we did the other day, copy this over into my downloaded version of Excel because that's where I have the data analysis tool pack. I've not installed this Excel Miner tool pack for this online version of the Excel spreadsheet. All right, so I'm going to open up the spreadsheet. Here's all that structured thing they'll walk you through in the video how to do. But all I'm going to do is take the batch, the method, and all the data up here and copy it. And then I'm going to shut down this Excel window and paste it into a blank worksheet that I have. It really doesn't matter too much exactly where I paste it in. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is now run the Anova using the data analysis tool pack. So I'm going to move my cursor off to the side. That doesn't really matter right now, but I'll go to the data and the data analysis tool pack. Now under data analysis tool pack, I want to find Anova single factor. It should be way up at the top. And press OK. This will bring up my pop-up window. Now this is important. Under the pop-up, under the input range, what I want to do is only select the methods and the data. I'm not going to include the batch because it'll think that the batch is actually one of the factors instead of just the labeling for the different data that were collected. All right, and then the other thing is I did collect the labels in the first row. Method A, method B, method C were in the top row. We are testing this at the 5%, and the data are grouped in columns. All of method A is in column C, all of method B is in column D, etc. Right, and then the last thing I'm going to do is set where I want the output to go. This is the Anova table, and so I'll just click on any blank cell. You can put it at the bottom, you can put it off to the right. I'm going to put it right up here in H3 this time, and then I'll press OK. All right, so this gives me the Anova table down here and all of the averages, the variances. It doesn't give me the standard deviations that they do in the video, but I don't need them. All I really need, everything I need in this particular problem is going to be contained in the Anova table, which is down here. All right, so what I'm going to do is make this just a little bit bigger. You can expand these out if you want to kind of see what these numbers are, but I just need access to these numbers. All right, so now I'm going to slide this off. We're going to go back into our Mind tab and go down and start answering these questions. Compute the sum of the squares between the treatments. All right, so the between groups right here, and then we have our sum of squares, SS. So between group sum of squares is 1468. You can either copy this and paste it or just type it in. Now they want the mean square between. Okay, mean square is MS, and between, MS between is 734. Sum of squares due to the error. Now the error on here is called within. Right, so the sum of squares error is the sum of squares within is 2174. And the mean square due to the error, that's the mean square within, is 144.9333. They want it rounded to one decimal point, so I'm going to put 144.9. Now it's a little duplicitous, but down here they just want us to copy all of the numbers out of this table and then do the rounding that they tell us to. So first we're going to start with the sum of squares, 1468, 2174, and then the total, you can either add these numbers together or you can just pull it off of here, 3642. Degrees of freedom, this is the number of groups, -1. We had 3 groups, -1 is 2. But you can also just copy it off of the table. The error is, I like to do this one actually next, 17, which is the 18 data items -1. and then you can add or subtract to get the 15, but this one is 15, and then 17. Now, I could divide 1468 divided by 2 to get the mean square, but it's already done for me over here, 734. And I can divide 2174 divided by 15 to get the mean square here, but again, it's already done. And we're going to round this again to one decimal point, 144.9. And finally, to get the F, you're going to take 734 divided by the 144.9. It's already done for us over here. So that becomes 5.06. They want 2 decimal points, 5.06. All right, now continuing on, the test statistic, that is the F value. The F is the thing that we're testing. So we're going to put 5.06 here again. And finally, the p-value. The p-value is in this last, not the last, but the second to last column in the Anova table, 0.0209 when I round to 4 decimal places, 0.0209. And finally, we compare that p-value. If p is low, reject the HO, the null hypothesis. If p is low, reject the HO. P is less than alpha, so we reject the null hypothesis. The null hypothesis in an ANOVA is that all the means are the same between these different treatments. And so the alternative hypothesis is at least one of those means is different. And so we're rejecting the null, which means that we're accepting the alternative, which means at least one of the means is significantly different from the others. So not all the means are the same. At least one of them is different. That's our conclusion, and then we can check our work. And there you go. That's the simple, fairly quick way to get started in ANOVA, activity 1 under section 13.1. If you'd like another video on this section, I'll probably make another one later this week. But again, always I can do these by request. So if you're stuck on something, really struggling with something, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you. Hope you all have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon.